Welcome back, everyone, to Primetime Tuesdays. I am your host, Vodible, and joining me for the grand finals is the one and only Mystic. How you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you? I'm back. I'm ready again. We're going to be casting a wonderful game. It is time.
Yes, it is. I gave the players a code, searching for the lobby, ready for things to go for our best of three grand finals between the two back-to-back time winners, which is Trio Abusers, and, well, Lyarri's been in the grand finals before. Now they're trying to see what they can do with this roster. I feel like Lyarri's just been choosing a different team each week to see how far they can go and how far they can take it against Trio Abusers. And so far, it hasn't been successful. There's only been 2 times, maybe third time is the charm.
Yeah, and Lyarri is like a big flex player. So you never know what position she might end up. Even if it's within forward, you can see her as either midfield or forward player. Just today, she was expressing interest of trying to play some forward.
Okay.
So you might see me and Lyarri on a team in the not so distant future.
Nice. I like to hear the insight for some of the rosters. And again, for those who don't know, the Pro League Invitational happening pretty soon. What is it, 3 days for the cutoff? 11 a.m. Eastern time, I'm pretty sure, for that. So if you have top 500, which I think is mid or diamond right now, mid diamond, somewhere around there.
That
for
sounds
NA.
correct. It's either low or mid diamond, and it is June 9th, top 500. I'm sure
region.
there is some, within your region. I'm sure there's some wiggle room just due to Smurfs or people who don't belong in the region.
Yeah, there's a lot of
there's people in in Omega that are just from EU.
Makes sense. I mean, it takes forever to queue in EU, from what I've heard. Let me make sure that they're good to queue. I said good luck, have fun, but I don't know if they actually queued. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
Now they're queuing. Perfect. Well, this is our final series of the day, and it's a good day to have some prime time action on the channel. Thanks again to Odyssey Interactive for verifying me as a creator as of today. So we got some great assets from Furphy. Got to give him a big shout out too. But no, it broke for a second. No.
Oh, I saw it loading in.
Yeah.
Almost.
Let me go there.
While you set that up,
Yeah.
I'll go talk about the matchup again. So this is a repeat of what we just saw not too long ago in Winners Final, where Trio Abusers won both sets.
That's true.
2-0. And we could, it's on Slop's Kittens to change things up. So for Slop's Kitten, we just saw them play. We have Lyarri, Slop, and Leo Leon. All three of which we have seen before, just on separate teams. But Trio Abusers roster staying strong has been like this for all Primetime Tuesdays, if I recall. On not counting the Goomy summon when YouAlreadyLose was asleep in bed. But outside of that, we have Vaughn, YouAlreadyLose, and Bells, Trio Abusers, the three who are at the top of the leaderboards, consistently top 5, if not the top 3 players on the ranked ladder right now. And yeah, it is, as you start climbing up the ranked ladder, the gap, even though it's single-digit gaps between the players' ranks, the gap between skill is big, right? From the bottom of Omega to the top of Omega.
True.
And
hey, there we go.
You see it in some of these games. So we are going into queue right now, or we are going into the draft.
Oni Village.
We'll be saying Oni Village, which is I don't know if it's a favorite of Trio Abusers, but I know they play well on it. I recall specifically when Oni Village got picked in a certain tournament. I don't remember what it was. Them all in call popping off. So I know they Trio Abusers like to see this map.
Hey, also on the other side though, for Slop's Kittens. Kitchens make sense too. We finally see a Juno. We haven't seen a Juno the entire stream, and Atlas, I mean, we saw once or twice, so there's got to be some sort of a creation buff for one of those early awakenings on the available awakenings draft. So we'll see once we get into the game itself, but Drakkar comes out. That's definitely Vaughn. You could tell just the way that he's been playing, feeling confident. Juliet. And then the Vodible comes back for YouAlreadyLose. I know the YouTube watchers were so positive to see some finally good Vodible gameplay. Now I get to see it again here.
This is Vodible on ice. Remember, momentum boots all about speed. We care about orb dancing, stacks on stack,
Orb
glass
Ponder.
cannon. Ooh, I didn't even know. Okay,
and
we
Stagger Swagger available too. Wow, that's an interesting draft.
Yeah, pretty common for the goalies to kind of just opt in for the orbs here, just because Stagger Swagger is not going to give them too much value. They don't need the movement speed in the sense where they won't be getting hit as much. But Bells, on the other hand, already making good use of Stagger Swagger, put down to half HP and getting a good amount of priority in the midfield.
Nice to see that priority too. Lyarri putting down those friend blobs all over the place just to be a bit of a nuisance and hopefully get some errant slime core strike going in a perfect direction where someone does not quite expect it. I mean, last time Lyarri played on a Juno, we've seen a couple goals happen from that, but Bells, the 1-2 punch combo, firing it forward to get that final goal barrier down from the side of Slop's Kittens.
Yeah, we see almost all barriers being taken out already. Lyarri Slimes are putting in work, but it is Trio Abusers who have the advantage right now. And Slop down a Cosmic Expanse and Score Flip. If Vaughn is able to pass it over to Bells, they might be able to make something happen here. And you can already see the way the Dubu is being played from YouAlreadyLose, walking up and just applying that pressure because he has the barrier behind him. And there you go. Really good. That was a bank shot. Core flip
clean.
Off the bottom, went out perfectly to Bells into the assist. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but great work from Vaughn and Bells there.
Calculated is what we like to say in Rocket League sometimes too. It's a little BM, but it means the best there. The expanse, a little bit wasted there from Slop as well. Bit too preemptive, was hoping to get that one away before we could see a strike come out from the other side. And Leo Leon, we saw so many KOs from them. In that last game, it was 25 KOs total, 10 apiece, both Leo Leon and Lyarri, but a little bit of a different comp this go around. So Lyarri trying to just see what they can do to set things up with those slimes, and didn't really need to do that, just had a good core strike to get that bottom barrier, but it's all about that top barrier, especially playing as Dubu.
Right now, Slop's Kittens have both of their... Oh, Lyarri just used the core flip, but Leo Leon has his in position here.
So
if he can get a good pass, yeah, it's going to come down to who uses their core flip better. You really like to use your core flip on Oni Village to break the barriers. You don't need it as much to score the goal, because the barrier is the thing where both of these melee goalies hunker down. Ooh, but
intervention.
The Celestial ultimate from Slav being able to save just a little bit longer, but Leo Leon is cracked with no core flip, no elusive at all. If the Stagger Swagger heals is crazy, though. He was able to get back up in time.
Had to use the elusive, or the core flip, excuse me, for them to actually stay alive and not fall off the map itself. So luckily for them, they were able to do that. And Bells almost timed that properly, but a bit of a miscue on their special for that Juliet. Lyarri, nice pass over to Leo Leon, but the Tofu Fortress just going to be that much more of a nuisance. Nothing they can do to get past the bamboo version of it with this skin of Dubu. And looking at YouAlreadyLose, they have their energy burst available too, so they have plenty of backup options, but the goalie's not going to be back up for 10 seconds now in OT.
Yeah, we are in OT, so the core is moving quite a bit faster, and with Atlas gone, YouAlreadyLose is making a stand to walk up. He does end up trading back, but I'm going to say it's to their advantage right now. They just have so much more pressure. The core is on the side of Slop's Kittens, and it just looks like anytime the core gets over to Bells, it's like panic happening.
It really is. It's an unfortunate situation. Bells, of course, and all of this side have been waiting patiently, biding their time of Trio Abusers, but now we get to see a great outfield pass all the way into the goal zone, and a great goal again from Bells, who usually is the #1 scorer for that team.
Yeah, and kind of with the matchup we have right now, not talking about the players, but more so the character picks, the difference between the goalie of Atlas and Dubu here is going to play out pretty well. So Atlas is really strong at hunkering down on that final barrier, but Dubu, on the other hand, has the advantage of walking up and applying pressure as a third forward. But an unfortunate set of circumstances leads to the double barrier break. But there, you can see how well Slop was able to hold that down, even though it ended up causing the barrier to fall eventually. Trades his life for the core flip, but it works out. And now they just have to hold down a few seconds longer, 4 more seconds to see if Slop can make it back up. YouAlreadyLose is so comfortable walking up. This is where the team synergy comes in.
This is nuts that
no
we've been
fear.
seeing too. No fear, as you mentioned, and Bells is just going to fiery fist that one in, make it difficult for anyone to stay up long enough for them to prevent it from happening. And I mean, we saw so much action happening there, Mystic. And then look at it, Primetime available from the get-go. You can see Juliet being the last in the pick, going for that infinite big fish. Makes sense. You need a bit more stagger, and that's going to be feeling a lot more confident for Leo Leon. But the Primetime being taken by the Atlas is also going to help a lot with their their astral projections, so that they can hit harder with them, but also use them more frequently for some defensive efforts.
Yeah, good draft here. Vaughn
Stinger
understanding
too.
that if he lets Stinger through for Primetime and it goes to Juno, it is way bigger of an impact than just letting the Atlas have the Primetime. So opts in for the Stinger, and Drakkar being one of the best Stinger users in the game because of that low cooldown shotgun that he has. He can apply his own amount of damage, and then Bells can be the one to finish it off. Or Caleb on YouAlreadyLose. Dubu is great at getting KOs between his just his log and ultimate. If you get missile prop, that thing sends people flying.
That it does, and we've seen that happen a couple times in the past, but nice to see the Flying Phoenix come out from Leo Leon, and he's just going to get a good angle that YouAlreadyLose can't really come up with anything afterwards to save it.
Yeah, no cooldowns, wasn't able to roll for it, it seems like. And yeah, just like you said, Leo Leon find the angle. What little bit of uneventful score, but hey, you got to get the job done one way or the other.
Their first goal too, and Leo Leon almost getting knocked off the side from Bells, getting their bell rocked, I guess is what just happens whenever Bells KOs anyone in the game. But Slop doing pretty decently defensive and also able to get that prime time, but even then, they weren't able to use their expanse or even their projection to get that core in a good position for them to clear it out.
Yeah, and he's down. The Cosmic Expanse has a long cooldown. Oh my goodness, he got taken out. I have to watch the replay. It was Bell's coming in from like midfield,
Flying
him
Phoenix, and then gets the fist, and then there's nothing you can do to come up with anything afterwards.
Oh,
so
no.
dangerous. But the goal gate saves the day for them. What? Then comes
it works out. It looks like they're having a little bit of fun here in this final,
just a bit.
in this grand finals right now.
It's all fun
Slop
and
has
games
to
at the end
play
of the day.
so far back, and he's constantly getting KO'd by Bells. I think he has to walk up a little bit more and kind of just like preemptively stop these pushes from coming up, because once it gets that far into your goal line, like you might save the core, but you're gonna end up sacrificing your life and trading it every single time, which might be fine, but you lose that energy every single time you die.
And something to note for Slop as well, seeing those Celestial interventions, we haven't seen them be very effective that last set going into this one too. And even at the beginning of this, they haven't been able to time it right. And that's one of the hardest things to do if you aren't communicated with well by your teammates. And pickup teams make that a bit difficult, where trio abusers, they've been playing every single week together, at least in this event. They're on different NASL teams, but still at the top for the most part, especially when you're talking about Bells. Still nice Flying Phoenix, or not, excuse me, the flurry coming out from Bells to get that second goal, but it seemed a bit easy for Bells to get that one when it should have been a bit less available.
I think as the round is kind of going on, they're giving a little bit too much room to trio abusers. They're kind of respecting them too much. As Bells walks forward, it's kind of like Slop and Lyarri are walking back instinctively, and Slop is holding it down as much as he can.
Yeah.
But you miss one cooldown, and all of a sudden you have this barrage of attacks coming out between Bells, Vaughn, and YouAlreadyLose. Look, YouAlreadyLose does not want to be on his side of the field.
He does
but
not.
The moment he gets any opportunity to walk up, he will. And his teammates know, because Vaughn is the creator of Dubu on ice. So this man knows. He is in calls right now, I can promise you, saying, "Fly, Caleb, fly."
And then the somersault comes out just to delay any more forward momentum from Lyarri. And that's where I feel like the Juno pick might not have been the best option for them, regardless of what they're feeling at the time. We've seen some better options from Lyarri. I mean, the rune in the last game was pretty solid. Maybe we'll see it in a different draft in the next one. But so far, the way things are going, they just need that one to drop down, and we see the fist come out. Bells, another one, bites the dust, and that's 2 sets in a row. 1 set away for taking game number 1.
Yeah, it's looking like this is going to be a wrap for trio abusers. And like you said, I do think we're going to need to see a swap. I really hope he takes missile prop, but maybe he takes timeless here. No, probably not. Knowing you already lose, he's going to take missile prop. He's going to walk up, and he's going to get KOs because the base knockback of the ultimate, because the ultimate is in a creation, right? It pushes you back a set amount, and that set amount scales with the projectile range.
That's good to know. So any Dubus out there, listen to these tips, because that is some great awakenings that you could take to maybe not just get the bigger size for that tofu wall. As you can see, you just place it a bit further from you and push things back, and also helps with the rollout too, I'm pretty sure. But both goal barriers down at 16 seconds into this one. Bells was read that time by Slop, and Leon is able to get it aside with their own flurry of blows. But Vaughn, nice read, nice shotgun blast. Lyarri jumps aside.
And there we go.
Bells
we see exactly right there. It's the Tofu Fortress coming down, securing the kill, and then getting the point after. And they're playing so, like, it is every single time Slop dies, he is standing as far left as the game will allow him to be. So Bells just needs to just find the opportunity where it's like, oh, I see Slop standing there, you know, two buttons and he's dead. Already starting this round off with a kill on Lyarri. And is there an adrenaline rush on one of the teams?
Let's see.
On Bells, oh no.
Yeah, that's dangerous. You don't want that to happen. Especially with the KOs he's been getting, but he goes off the side, and finally, there's a little bit of breathing room for Slop's Kittens. And we did see the Primetime taken by Lyarri, so they have a bit more use of their friends that they can fling wherever they want, but we haven't really been seeing much of it again. You see Lyarri in jail that time.
On the bottom of the wall. Almost no stagger there. The stagger swagger is coming in for them, and finally we get a point.
Wow.
Weaving it through. Oh my god. I think he struck it after the...
He did. He waited for the core flip for it to hit the ground and then struck it like so he was more forward than the hitbox of the flurry, so the last hit of the flurry would hit it, which was nuts to see. Yeah.
Really, if that was intentional, calculated for sure. That was a really good play from Leon. And he has to fight so hard to get these points, right? Like, these are some amazing goals that he's getting, but it's just not enough.
And that's what I was
able to
about.
walk up there, use two abilities,
and
just score. Yeah, like the barrier just goes down anytime Bells walks up. And again, like, if we give them any chance, like Trio Abusers gets any chance to get the core past midfield, YouAlreadyLose is itching to walk up.
He really is. He's got so much speed to work with, especially because of that early awakening pick. And there we go, another one from Bells. And I feel like if you've ever watched WWE, you think of Hell in a Cell. Well, when the Tofu Fortress comes up, it's Bells in a cell, and you don't want to be anywhere near that.
Vaughn going invisible early, trying to get core control here, uses the core flip as well. But they're the ones to lose their first barrier. Bells able to counter with his own, and we're down to this situation that we've seen quite frequently of who's going to get this last barrier. It's actually Slop's Kittens with not only a kill on Vaughn, but they are down. Unable to secure the hold on the last barrier here. But Leon,
there we go.
And that's big because those are the Ponderer stacks gone from YouAlreadyLose. You know, I'm pretty sure he hasn't died at all this entire game. So that's the first time. Yeah. Getting knocked down from that 10-0 is huge because now you no longer get the 40% CDR per orb. It's down to 20.
And again, we've been at this point in time for a while that one goal is all that's been needed for this first game to be taken away by Trio Abusers, be one game away for 3 back-to-back championship runs for Primetime Tuesdays. This is Primetime Tuesday number 3. We've had one every Tuesday for the past 3 weeks, and so far no one's been able to take down Trio Abusers except Goats Esports in a best of 1, mainly because server differential and pings. But we do see the goal barrier go down on the other side, and we are seeing a monumental comeback, in Lyarri leading the charge with that Primetime, with the friend fling, trying to make sure that they can use any options that they have to keep things away from Vaughn and from Bells. The Expanse helps a little bit, so does the Astral Projection. We just got to see if that's going to be enough for them to get this goal and keep this goal barrier up.
Yeah, it looks like something changed with these last 2 goals, and all of a sudden the motivation's a little bit higher, and even then with Bells on with the adrenaline rush, getting the KO. It still feels like there's a chance that Slop's Kittens can hold this down. And they're doing a pretty good job. It's only 3 more seconds until Lyarri's up, and there she is. If they can at least get the pass to her, maybe they can make some movement towards YouAlreadyLose. And while they have this final barrier,
nice.
Great save by Slop. You can just tell that they're playing so much more comfortably. Slop's playing a little bit more up. He's not standing in his goal line anymore. It's overtime. This benefits Juno because the slime's going so fast. Leon with the kill. And again, the Ponder stacks are gone. If they can get this point right here, they're going to be looking pretty well going into the next set.
Caleb's not feeling as comfortable as they were on defense. That's YouAlreadyLose. For those who don't know, probably could start a copy pass against that, but Leon got every single goal so far from this team of Slop's Kittens, and this is why. Goes for the 1-2 combo, the kick from the Phoenix, and there we go. We have a game on our hands. It seemed to be all one-sided before. Chat was saying it too. Orb Dance is available. Maybe we'll see more of an orb builder if that will be denied too, because you don't want to get even more speed for YouAlreadyLose.
Yeah, most likely it won't make its way over to Slop, although Slop would like it. We might see Lyarri pick it up. But
are they giving it to him for free? They're giving it to him for free.
Oh, he's going to dance.
Oh, why would you do that?
Yeah, I don't think Glass Cannon is the pick. Maybe the Glass Cannon is more of a denial from Vaughn.
Yeah.
I think because Lyarri has been, like, they've been getting hit pretty frequently. So I don't think she'll get the value from Glass Cannon as much as something like just stacks on stacks or picking up the Ponder or the Orb Dancer herself. But so far, you know, we're 15 seconds into the round and there hasn't been a death for Slop's Kitten, so it's a pretty good start, honestly.
Yeah, that's the longest amount of time we've seen, and you could tell that trio abusers are having to take things a bit more seriously than they were in those opening sets. They were feeling confident, but the Awakening draft, the coordination as well from Slop Kittens, feeling a lot better. Slop is also feeling a lot more confident, as this Atlas goalie got their groove on. And Atlas goalie, I feel like, is always out of place until the later stages of Oni Village, just depending on how the Awakenings are going, and also if they are being pushed as often as we saw before. And you see it happen there from Bells. Nothing that Slop can do with this specific striker. Now they got to see what they can do to support their teammates, Lyarri and Leon, to get this last goal barrier down and get that goal to make it go to set 5.
Yeah, Slop's still doing a lot better than before. I was just about to say his Cosmic Expanses have been hitting. Misses it right there, and it was definitely much needed to protect that specific point. But overall, like, even with that point down, that volley lasted so much longer than all the other ones before. So if it keeps going like this, Slop's Kittens have a chance. You know, they took 1 round so far. What's stopping them from taking another 2?
That is a good question. Can they take another 2? Well, they got to take another 3 goals for them to be able to do that, and also use the cooldowns at the right moment. The Expanse would have been a better option there, especially with Vaughn pushing, because at least it could deny any access to their goal for a second, but Bell's using that energy burst perfectly for them to secure the goal, and now 1 away from taking game 1 for the second time. Will they do it this time?
Immediately that second point went so much faster, and it looks like it really just comes down to if Slop is on point with the cooldowns, he has to try so much harder to lock it down than YouAlreadyLose, just due to how well they're playing the midfield. You know, the opportunities to attack are so much more frequent on trio abusers that it's like Slop has to protect twice as many goals, right, than YouAlreadyLose. And if he can't, you know, although you might say it's not fair, he's doing a pretty good job.
And he's in midfield.
That's just how it is.
That is just how it is. That summarizes facing off against the trio abusers. Belt getting almost every single goal. The only other goal was scored by YouAlreadyLose. With that Dubu goalie going forward to the midfield, using that roll up, but mainly using that Tofu Fortress for that one in, I think it was set number 3 to kick things off. And let's look at the stats here real quick. Not many KOs on the side of the blue team with the Slop's Kittens, but you can see the 7 from Bells being very effective. And the way that Slop's Kittens were corralled and caged off, and they weren't able to act out and strike and get their KOs themselves like they did in the previous series, you could see how much of a detriment that is, not just to their game style, but also their mental, because it took them such a long time to even bounce back into that 3rd set, and it was a little bit too late at that point, as they couldn't really do much. But also, I feel like it came down to that Awakening draft. They gave that orb speed boost away to YouAlreadyLose, and there was so much that he could do there. And I just had to show off my verification symbol there for a second. We lost Mystic. No, oh, he's back. It's okay. But we are getting all set for the next game here. Good to go for these teams. And let me add a number into the total for the side of Trio Abusers, as they were the one who went up by 1. And now they just need one more game win. Will it be as quickly as it was before for them to get their third back-to-back-to-back title champions? I mean, I made a roll in the Discord for like Primetime Tuesdays champions, and nobody else has gotten it.
But
crazy.
You know, if someone, you know, we're at least seeing the grand finals contenders.
Yeah.
The second place finishes constantly be different. So there are new people stepping in every single time.
True. Except Lyarri.
To try it out.
Not back to back, but like twice they have been able to make it here with different rosters. So maybe they'll find that combination necessary to take down Trio Abusers. Maybe you are a part of that combination, Mystic.
Maybe. We'll never know.
No,
little bit of break there. So while that gets back in, I actually want to point out, good job from Puffy from noticing. It completely blanked my mind that the glass cannon pickup from that last draft was the denial for Dubu.
That's fair.
That is the Dubu on ice specialty. I didn't even think about it because I just saw orbs and I saw that.
Like orbs.
Yeah, I was like, orbs. He already has orbs. He wants more orbs. Because I know YouAlreadyLose is a fan of the orb dancer. So
True.
I don't think he would have particularly cared getting glass cannon or orbs. You get to fly either way. I'm personally a big fan of orbs on goalie, especially on Oni Village. When you have the advantage of the barrier, getting that orb makes you play so aggressive. You can get from like your side of the field to midfield in a second, and if you're playing Dubu with missile prop like he is, it is just super annoying for the enemy team to deal with, constantly locking off a zone. And also, while we're quickly searching, I want to talk about kind of we missed the stats there for a second, but it was Vaughn with like 200 plus redirects.
Also, YouAlreadyLose
the next
like 42
one like,
orbs that game.
Yeah. And like Vaughn had like 220 redirects, but everyone else is like 150.
There we go. Oh,
that man was going crazy in the midfield, and it leads to so much pressure. But let's see if that can continue going into this next and possibly final set.
Yeah. Could be a bit earlier of a night than we saw the last time that went to like 1 a.m. Eastern or something. But we did have a lot more best of threes. We've only had 3 best of threes. One of them going all the way to 3 games. Set 5 for that final one for Slop's Kittens to eventually win it and make their way here. But we saw the bands come out. It was Imi. And then what was the second one? I kind of missed it.
The era for Trio Abusers. So we're going to see Rasmus come out from Vaughn most likely, and probably also Leo Leon. So Imi's Zap is very, very known for just like the Rasmus handshake. You either ban it or you pick it. If you don't pick it while it's up, you're putting yourself at quite a bit of a disadvantage. You don't even have to pull people into the pit. Just the threat of being able to be pulled in makes people play very differently.
Well, let's see how things go here for these two teams. Look at the opening awakenings. Prime time for everyone for potentially the final game. Let's go,
what
baby.
The other one was. So there's an interesting, I don't know if this was fixed or not, but previously the way starting awakenings worked is if all 6 players picked one awakening, the other awakening is valid to appear in the draft.
Ooh,
which means that
I hope that's still a thing.
There is a chance, or if that is the case, that means one awakening will never appear, even if it goes all five rounds.
There we go. Already the barrier down on the side of Trio Abusers. On the blue side this time, flip the overlay a little bit. Shout out again to Furphy for making that all possible, but Bells quickly gets the other one away. YouAlreadyLose on the rune. Quickly with the banish, then the anomaly into the pit, and there they go. Another great anomaly play. Lyarri simply sending that one forward. Lyarri also looked very solid on rune before, so I'm liking the comps from both of these two teams.
I do like the rune pickup, especially for YouAlreadyLose. I think rune is a really strong goalie, but people have to put more time into him.
True.
And that's why we don't see as much, just because the comfort picks are the people we see already. Ooh, Leo Leon with a great setup off the top corner there into the pendulum. hitting both YouAlreadyLose and the core, guaranteeing the point there.
That's the first time in a while we've seen the first goal of a game against trio abusers taken by someone else other than Bells. So he's usually the one to strike first and get things going for them. But with the way this map is set, with the way these comps are set, there's so much shenanigans going on at one time. You have the Supernova from Slop, you have the Death Touch coming out from Leon to try and get the KO onto the other Rasmus, and then you have all of the pillars everywhere. There's so much going on. There goes the barrier.
Yeah, and I really like Slop's Vice here because it does add that forward pressure. He just gets to eject button in, use some abilities, either stun the core, use his ultimate to pretty much just KO an entire area.
Wow.
And really good hold. I'm not sure if Lyarri was the one who ended up saving that, but it worked out super well.
Super well, Supernova. I mean, we see another super goal this time. Everyone involved from Slop's Kittens, and they're feeling much more confident this go around, which is huge for them. 2 goals back to back. The first time, at least this series, we have seen them be able to get 2 goals back to back. But can they hold it off? Because this is where trio abusers start to batten down the hatches and get ready.
Yeah, early kill for Bells onto Leon, following it up with a double kill on Lyarri. Or sorry, not Lyarri, on Slop. The goalie is gone. Lyarri has to hold it down, but this is a flex player here, so Lyarri has that goalie experience. Held it down long enough for both of her teammates to appear. Right now, even though with the 2 KOs on their team, they came back strong. Slop teleporting in, using the ultimate to get a revenge kill here, and the first barrier is down for trio abusers. This might be another kill, or another point if Leon can get into a proper position.
Could have been a KO, could have been a goal, could have been something, but there goes 2 KOs. What a piece the other direction. Death Touch is as deadly as it can be for both sides. Going elusive as Vaughn to try and keep things going. They are somehow able to save that away from the pendulum that takes down the goalie. 3-on-2 situation. Now there's still plenty of time for YouAlreadyLose to respawn, and Vaughn is holding it down like an expert with this amazing play for Rasmus, but not long enough. Great read from Lyarri, from the anomaly to Leon for the goal to close out a dominant set by them.
Round 1 looking way different than it was on Oni Village here. I don't know if it was the mentality change, it was
like
the draft change. Lyarri on the rune is looking really, really comfortable, although the Juno was Liari's signature pick back in beta.
Yeah. I mean, that just goes to show how much the rune buff helps it, but also there's so much you can do that's harder to predict because you place those anomalies anywhere.
Yeah, and the draft here is definitely going to go towards Slop's Kitten here. Getting the unstoppable on Leon means he gets to play around that circle with no care whatsoever about his positioning, right? He cannot get punished for it now unless he gets staggered. He gets to play way more freely, not have to think about what the other Rasmus is doing. And then Slop picking up Adrenaline Rush is not only a denial, but it's just good for him. Slop has been getting kills or has been participating in kills. And you can see where he's standing. Like, Slop going in a little bit too aggressively there, just as I was talking about it.
Say for a second it didn't work out for Lyarri, though. We saw the anomaly come out, and there we go. The anomaly from the goalie, the assists by YouAlreadyLose, and then just the finish coming afterwards. And we could see the results of that one. It took them a set to get a goal, but now they are firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, either way, I think this is still a pretty good position for Slop's Kittens to be. And just as I say that, maybe I should stop talking. Lyarri getting taken out. The Rasmus scales so well with damage on your ultimate, whether it's Deadeye or the specialized training, because the Death Touch just yanks from so much further away. And oh my God, Lyarri! That wasn't Lyarri. That was Leon getting yeeted off the map.
Power Core not even able to do anything for Slop. They're just trying to stay alive as best they can. Bell's waiting for the moment to bring that one off the other side, and the anomaly just denying any access away from this corner. Great pass down. Leon was too focused on the KO, not focused on getting the strike, and there goes 2 goals back to back this time. This one for Vaughn. Usually Bell's being the most effective on offense, but when you have so much going on with all the depth touches, the pendulums, the anomalies, and even the thunderstrucks that you could witness from Slop using Vice, there's so much to avoid as a Juliet who doesn't have much momentum that they can use that it's hard for them to focus on scoring the goals, and everyone else is stepping to the plate for trio abusers.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it's. So many KOs are coming out from trio abusers here, even though it's Leo Leon who has the unstoppable. It's not stopping trio abusers at all.
On him because of it.
Yeah, the heavy impact that Bells ended up picking up just adds so much damage. That 15% scaling to your damage means a lot, right? Like the knockback increase and the damage increase for the stagger. There's constant KOs happening, but Bells might finally get taken out, and it is Lyarri getting the return, getting the return score. They're finally causing a moment of reprieve here.
Gives them some room to breathe so we don't see two kind of one-sided sets in this game number 2. They got the first one. They have a chance to come back here, but they got to be worried about those KOs, especially from Bells. Lyarri, very squishy. Leo Leon, as you can see with Lyarri, almost staggered and had to go elusive and didn't last long enough. Double KO for YouAlreadyLose this time as they go off both sides of the IMZAP arena. Vaughn just waiting for the time of the pass, miscued it, power chord down the other direction. We do see the Flying Phoenix somehow does not hit that goal barrier. There's so much room for it to work with, and Vaughn just waited out that energy burst for them to do whatever they can to keep things going forward momentum-wise, but things seem to even out a little bit after we do see the anomalies and the recall as well from YouAlreadyLose denying that goal barrier, and another double KO from Vaughn. Vaughn has been unstoppable himself.
Yeah, this I really think it's a Primetime playing in right now. The 10% extra damage with the extra ability coming through, we're seeing so much damage happen, and just KOs getting traded constantly back and forth. But it's trio abusers majority of the time who have the advantage here.
Wow.
Dooley with just like 1 or 2 damage training scales so hard. And the same thing with Rasmus. He just got a buff to his primary in the most recent patch, if people weren't aware. That plus the 10% damage from Primetime is making such a difference here. But finally, Vaughn getting taken out, even if it means their barrier goes down with him.
Oh man, YouAlreadyLose is doing some
what a great
gold ending. Gets the banished. It doesn't really do too much with it, but with the way they're using these anomalies and the recall to make sure that they can defend just the corners of that goal barrier, because it is such a hard goal barrier to defend with how skinny it is. That's why Atlas on IMZAP is so difficult, because you don't have the speed, you don't have the momentum, but you don't have the coverage until you get some of those creation awakenings, especially Monumentalist. But we see another KO go down. Lyarri just using those banishes to try and take out Vaughn, but Vaughn has not been taken down very often compared to the rest of their team, with Bells usually the one who is at the receiving end of those KOs.
And they do at least have a little bit more pressure, even though their own barrier is down. Finally getting the barrier there, and they're managing to keep the core on the enemy side. And nice. I believe that was Leo Leon using the pendulum swing to get the kill on YouAlreadyLose, and then following it up with that core flip into the point.
We also saw the flurry from Bells trying to knock it aside, but it was a little bit too late after we did see that momentum from Leo Leon, and there was no stopping that goal from going in, but no stopping that player from going into the void or the glitch in the center of IMZAP. Is back on the side of the Slop's Kittens, and there goes the goal barrier. There goes Vaughn and Bells. There goes some more momentum. Leo Leon's back, but a little bit too late, and there goes the set all the way to trio abusers. Hard fought. They almost came back, but it will be won by trio abusers. Only 2 more away from winning Primetime Tuesday number 3.
Now let's see how the draft goes here. We have
specialized training.
Both orbs available in the draft. Glass cannon. These are all really good goalie pickups. Specialized training for sure. Most likely going to go on. I was gonna say Slop was probably gonna opt in for the specialized training here, but chooses to go for the glass cannon. It helps out a lot more on just having that coverage in the midfield, and then empowering that primary to get some more KOs. Bell's opting to go for Orb Dancer. No one going for Ponder. It's actually okay. So we have Lyarri going for Ponder here. And overall, it looks like, I'm not sure who really comes out on top here, but Vaughn having the specialized training means he gets to pull from so far away.
Yep.
We were talking about it earlier. Have to, yeah, he's going to be pulling way more towards the side of the map now, just because of the new reach he gained. He doesn't have to rely on the pit too much. But Bells, what a far dash punch there to secure the kill. Leo Leon still has the advantage here, the man up, and Slop coming in for the assist. And the power chord working out perfectly, hitting it into that top pocket, even though they were the man down, or at least even, I think, in team members there. It's Slop coming in for the 2v2, working out really good.
That's a smart play from Slop as well. Knowing when to push forward. We saw it happen on the Oni Village before from YouAlreadyLose, and with the way that they've been playing now, they're trying to be a bit more passive, go for those long creations, just to be a nuisance to the other side. And Bells was trying to knock out Leon, but forgot that they had Unstoppable, so really just did a couple damage to their stagger bar. And so we get a stagger. Bells is fully staggered, nobody able to really focus on them too much there, but the banish going on to Lyarri. There goes the anomaly as well. There goes all of their health too, and they barely survive this one. Have to go for some orbs as Bells, Leon just soloing both defenders though, and keeping this progress on the opposite side as best they can.
And even with all this aggression, I want to give props to YouAlreadyLose.
Yeah.
There are so many times where I would have just assumed that the barrier was gone, that he is holding down strong. And it's still like...
Primetime helps a lot.
It feels like Leon is doing all the aggression right now, and it's just a battle between Leon and YouAlreadyLose to see who will break first. But at the moment, it is Slop's Kittens with 2-man up with the adrenaline rush. Slop using it to his biggest advantage he possibly can. But there's so many pillars, and I believe YouAlreadyLose has Wind Drive as well. I'm not sure, but there's just like infinite anomalies coming up, and just not enough there. He tried his hardest, tried to cover the entire barrier.
He's got Primetime, Twin Drive, and Castellas if you look at it right now. I mean, that is what you want as a goalie, I feel like, for Rude, just if you like using those anomalies. You kind of have to use that. We saw it happen so many times to defend that goal barrier, because there's only one thing you could do is stop it from hitting that. Otherwise, it's going to be a simple goal, whoever gets it down first. And Slop, going for these KOs more than we saw before, has been a huge momentum boost for them.
Yeah, I really like that he is going for the KOs, and it is that glass cannon pickup that's helping a lot, right? The power chord does so much more damage when you have that extra 40 power added onto it.
And the speed,
and you don't even have to hit the person because of the chain reaction you get. Leon with another kill on YouAlreadyLose. He's getting these quite frequently in the same exact spot. And trying to look for the setup here, Leon catching the rebound perfectly.
Looks like we might be going to another game 3 if things continue this way. Again, all going to come down to this Awakening draft, what they can deny, what they can keep on their side. And a Monumentalist for Rune after all the stuff we've seen so far for YouAlreadyLose. I mean, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's going to go for Hotshot here or Monumentalist. Just because, choosing to go Orb Replicator. Is that a denial?
It's got to be a denial.
Because I don't remember who has orbs at all right now.
It is... Oh, no.
Lyarri has...
Yeah.
Lyarri and Bells. So I think denying it from Lyarri there, but Lyarri gets a really good pickup because like Orb Replicator without your own orbs, it's a dead pick for him.
Yeah.
Lyarri definitely comes out on top here, being able to get Hotshot Stagger Swagger taken away thanks to Slop, denying that from either like just Vaughn or Bells.
And we saw the missile propulsion as well for Leon.
Missile propulsion for Leon doesn't it. The ultimate, the Death Touch, is a missile, or projectile, I should say, and it really helps, like, kind of for the goalie sense, or like the applying pressure, being able to catch stray cores, but it doesn't help too much in getting kills without having the Deadeye or Specialized to back it up.
We'll have to see how things go. I feel like they're already just setting up for that next Awakening draft because they know how dangerous the Trio Abusers roster is. And you can see it with Bells being fully staggered, still pressuring, and with Vaughn not really having any stagger against them. Leon one touch away from them to be KO'd off the side, and they're just barely holding on the offensive half. Vaughn focusing on them. They had to go elusive, try and avoid Bells this go around, and there's no orbs available. There's 2 KOs going the other direction. YouAlreadyLose saves the day this time. Lyarri trying to see what they can do to bounce things off the center, and Slop. Some great defensive efforts. They haven't really had to do as much, but when they are there on the defensive half, stuck with whatever pressure is coming from Vaughn and Bells, they've been holding out like the best of them. There's another KO.
Vaughn, but with a great death touch there. The reaction time's really good. Leon trading it right back, though. Again, we're on one-on-one, but the 2v2, but the situation works out better for Slop at the moment. He has the barrier. And the pass down during overtime, getting it right over the or under the banish.
Yeah, that was
and
huge.
then perfect. Oh my god, what perfect timing there.
Wow.
And still managing to, I would say, hold on for one more round. Not trio abusers, slops kittens, sorry, are going so strong. And someone got KO'd. It's so hard to keep track because the KOs are instant.
It was Lyarri who went down,
yeah.
and so does the barrier, and potentially a goal very soon after that. And yes, it does. A goalie goal yet again from YouAlreadyLose, who had that perfectly placed for the anomaly, has their core flip available later on. Back tied 1-1, and that momentum we saw from Leo Leon that was won quickly ripped away from them.
Yeah, but right now we're seeing the closest game put together from Slops Kitten and Trio Abusers. Finally, someone being able to combat the Titans. Leo Leon getting the kill on Vaughn too, but Bell single-handedly taking down the barrier, giving him the advantage.
Smart.
Because now they can kind of just relax until Vaughn comes up. There's no pressure to score here.
Oh, the Thunderstruck. What a save!
Oh, and
How
he
did
just
they
managed to
get
save that with the core flip just some millimeters away from touching the core, and Bell's using the flurry in the top corner, securing that point. It's so hard to save that. You have to be you have to elusive and hit it down right after the final hit of the flurry, but it's not something that you see often. It's like high-level goalies know to do it, but it's such a hard thing to do that you rarely see it ever pulled off.
And sometimes it's just better not to use it if you know it's about to go in and get ready for that next round of offense, especially for what we saw. They were so close so many times, and Bell's looking forward to take all the orbs, so Slop and Lyarri don't really have anything to use once they respawn. I like the denial so that they don't even have anything to use advantage-wise for those orb abilities that we saw taken before. And another KO from Bells onto Leo Leon, and Slop, even with the eject button, getting back in time, and we do see the bash into the anomaly. It's not enough to take out Vaughn, and he's just in a solid position with YouAlreadyLose backing them up. Even with this goal barrier down, they feel even more threatening.
Yeah, it is. At least I would just say Slops Kittens were able to hold it down long enough for Leo Leon to come back. They do have the barrier advantage here. But the aggression coming out from Trio Abusers is so strong. And we're seeing kind of a little bit of what they brought to Oni Village here. But Leo Leon, again, in the same exact spot, using the pendulum swing to get a kill on YouAlreadyLose. It is almost pixel perfect. If I took a snapshot of exactly where it dies, it's both people standing in the same spot, and the KO is happening the exact same way.
Deja vu again in this set, but will it be deja vu for another goal coming from the other side? The banish comes out, doesn't hit anyone, just the core, and they just had to wait for one of the anomalies of either rune to hit that in a different direction. It is going to be YouAlreadyLose hitting that towards the goal barrier as it goes down and denying any access to the other side. And as I said, it was going to happen. That it does. YouAlreadyLose, Bells, and Vaughn force it to go to set 5. This is the closest anyone's gotten to taking a game off of them in the finals. Can it happen here?
And I was just about to mention, we know that Extra Special is coming up on the draft here, as well as Timeless Creator. There's a lot of good things in this final draft. The Juliets wanted to take Built Different, but Stinger is up, so maybe we see the denial there.
And Vaughn with the specialized training too. Makes sense for that to be denied.
Opting in for the Extra Special on Juliet. I personally don't think that's the way to go.
Yeah,
I think
the way to go.
I think you take Stinger away from the Vice. I'm pretty sure. I would say that is more important. And then Timeless Creator manages to go over to YouAlreadyLose, which is big, right? Because we have these Primetimes and Twin Drives. So now that he has Cast to Last and Timeless Creator, not only does the size increase to cover more of the barrier, it's not going anywhere, and he has so many that he can kind of just like stagger them forever. It's going to be on Leo Leon or Lyarri to stand on top of YouAlreadyLose to make sure these anomalies get disappeared the moment they come down.
That's going to be tough, too, because Leo Leon already staggered, already KO'd, and already off the side of the map, and so is the other player in Lyarri in that center. Vaughn, Bells, and YouAlreadyLose versing Slop, and he can't even get the power cord unlocked for them to knock that away themselves. Dodging the pendulum, not the second one after the Primetime, and that's a great anomaly placement by Lyarri for them to get that towards the middle, towards the other half, and towards some relief for them for just a moment.
Bell's over there getting a little bit greedy, holding on to his core flip for way too long, and although they still have the advantage there, that could have very easily been a point much earlier into that sequence, but it ends up finally making its way over to Trio Abusers. Bell's wanting to hold on to that core flip a little bit longer because he felt like the 3v1 was enough to secure the point, but it just wasn't at that time, finally having to use it. But I do believe this is going to come down to how well Lyarri specifically ends up positioning around that middle. She's getting pulled quite a bit from Vaughn, but the KO happening first this time for Slop's Kittens, but the return fire from Vaughn. Oh my goodness, the build difference size increase is such big. But then now it's a Slop returning, has the adrenaline rush. He's gonna play like a forward here, see whatever he can accomplish.
Yeah, use the Thunderstruck as well to stun Bells, and they didn't even have any elusive to work with. And Leon, a great read again. We've seen this happen every single time in the last 2 sets for him to get that goal. A setup from Slop or Lyarri, who's in a good position with their anomaly, and they're able to execute on it afterwards. But I misspoke earlier. Core Overflow did take a game against Trio Abusers before, but they weren't able to take the entire series. Will we see a repeat performance from a different team in this Primetime Tuesday, or is it just going to be a straight 2-0? We have 2 more goals from Trio Abusers.
Oh my god, as you were saying that, I just saw 6 anomalies appear on my screen. And I don't know who's belonged to whose, but the barrier is down, and Slop's Kittens have the advantage here. So many hitboxes coming out, and it is Leon, I believe, able to secure that using the spin.
Spin to win. Maybe you could do effects. You don't really need to if you have Rasmus that's in position. And there goes a KO and another KO. Trading blows side to side. Lyarri gone. So is Bell. Supernova wasted. Perfect timing from Vaughn on that one, but not long enough as he gets KO'd out by Slop. There goes the Thunderstruck. There goes the core flip. There goes another one. Trying to wait for this cast the last anomaly to go away, but it's just staying forever because they can't get it aside. They can't get the goal barrier down, and they can't get enough time for them to get something going for them to get this goal barrier down, because it's been a struggle. There's another power chord, another anomaly to try and take out Bells, but even with that, even with the KOs, it's not enough for Slop's Kittens to get this final goal to win that game.
But Leon coming back strong, immediately getting the kill on Bells, and now hopefully YouAlreadyLose has some cooldowns gone, but you never know with Primetime Twin Drive.
Yep.
We don't know what he has in his belt right now, but oh my god, so many bounces there. And I think that helped out Lyarri a lot, because each of those counts as a hit, gaining a little bit more energy.
True. Oh, there
Slop
goes the
coming
goal
in,
barrier.
I believe that was it. Able to use the ultimate there. The Supernova enough to get a KO, or leading to a KO, getting the barrier. So many anomalies coming. There is no score. He's got the whole wall of China, but as it slowly crumbles, the space opens up for Slop's Kitten to dethrone Trio Abusers.
At least for now, they tied up the series 1-1. We go into game number 3 twice in a row. Happened at the last event. Of course it happens here, as we will get to see the stats from these teams. MVP Slop, I mean, makes sense. 9 KOs, 7 to the plate, but look at Leon. 16, 17 from Vaughn. That is the most individual KOs we've seen from anyone this event, from both of the Rasmus on IMEZAP. I mean, look at the damage, too. Only 30,000 damage from Vaughn, but the KOs were consistent.
There's so much also damage just coming out from Slop as well. We can all see the redirects way higher this time. Slop was doing, or it just looked like he was way more comfortable this time on the Vice instead of the Atlas. Knowing when to use his ability, he has to play way more aggressive, right? Like, this hunkered down goalie is not his playstyle. He's known for the aggressive Luna in beta. He's playing more Kai recently. He's been playing some Aimi as well, and now Vice. So I like the change. I also, big props to Lyarri for picking up the rune there. I think it played really well. I don't think Trio Abusers played bad. I think it was just
played great.
It was this time a little bit better synergy and picks from Slop's Kitten, and they finally kind of played to the level of their abilities.
Well, that's the big thing, too, is like Slop was much more aggressive that time, going up on offense, was able to use their blink to get in on the action. When we got to see them use the Thunderstruck, going for stuns, following it up afterwards, using that eject button perfectly to get back at time when they needed to, so that they could defend. The power chords was a big difference maker with the build that we saw from that Awakenings draft from Slop, and eventually it became too much for anyone on Trio Abusers to do anything about it at the end of it. But Leon, I mean, did what they could on offense with a lot of those reads on Rasmus. And you saw just a 1 KO differential between those two is why they were doing so well. But Slop with 9 KOs themselves and a couple goal assists too, is great to witness, and we'll see it once these teams take a little bit of a breather for a second, because I know Trio Abusers are ready to get into it, but Slop, Kittens, they need to just take a step back and get into the mindset of we're one game away from dethroning the champions of the last 2 Primetime Tuesdays.
If they can take this one, they have finally stopped the onslaught of Trio Abusers, and
Trio Abusers
can
trying
go
to
down.
trio win the events. I don't know. I was trying to think of something funny there. Let us know, chat, what you think it is. But we are going to Atlas Lab for the final game of the day. Let me update that score, as we do have a 1-1 series at this point in time.
This is going to be a tricky one, because the way the draft goes, all of a sudden you have Vaughn's Luna, which is a core pick here for him. He has said himself that he has such a high win rate.
Oh, they go for the ban. That's smart.
Yes, it's good that they recognized that that Luna was on the table and that he would have happily opted in for that. But what that does open up now is the IME for YouAlreadyLose, which hasn't been an option for him at all this entire time.
And that's what's tough with only having a single ban that you can use, and when you face off against someone that isn't a one trick, because when you face off against someone that, we all know that player, that striker that is always going X and nothing else. Well, that way you're able to just ban X and they're nerfed to just oblivion. Maybe they'd be Diamond instead of Challenger at that point. But we do see a Drakkar apiece. We do see the Juliet from Bell, the Comfort Zone. We also witnessed Leo Leon on Rasmus yet again, and they felt really good there. And Slop also on the IME, as both gold barriers quickly down. And it's going to be a big difference maker if we see that first set going the other direction, because I feel like that first set being won by Slop's Kittens is what gave them that game victory.
Yeah, and this is going to be, we already started off with a KO from YouAlreadyLose onto Leo Leon, and almost another kill onto Lyarri. But what I was going to say is, this time we have the Trio Abusers on their signature champions. Every single person is playing the character that they are most well known for in their current positions. So if Slop's Kittens can win here,
that's huge.
This is as good as Trio Abusers team comps get. So this is it. This is level 9 hard mode, but so far it's going to start off strong for Trio Abusers.
Yeah, the turret into the Flying Phoenix, and there's nothing you can do to stop that with the momentum that was behind the core. And speaking of the core, we got a core flip available for YouAlreadyLose, using the glitch pop and the strike shot to get that pressure towards that bottom gold barrier. It's not going to be enough for them to get that one down. We are seeing some good stagger taken from that turret by Slop. I like the blink from them as well. Keep that pressure going. Just got to see what Leo Leon can do to get involved, because so far, right now, Rasmus not able to do too much. This first opening play for Rasmus and Lyarri, I mean, Lyarri not even having that second level finally getting there has been quite a nerf for them. So it's going to be a long fought battle, but the kill on the Bells, the KO with the death touch is huge.
Yeah, finally getting some breathing room. Leo Leon has been mostly a like passenger of this round. hasn't been participating too much here, but getting the kill with the death touch onto Bells, even though he's already up, at least they were able to trade back one barrier and have the opportunity here to get the other one. But Vaughn is in control of the midfield here, bringing up the core perfectly to Bells, who uses the flurry to secure it. And yeah, like I said before, it's such a hard thing to hit out of when you have the flurry there for Juliet. You might as well just assume that it is forward on in that situation if you don't have a core flip or like a melee goalie to anti-stuff.
Blink and you miss it, and that one went through. Blink and you miss it, the KO comes through as well on it to Lyarri, and Lyarri's not as confident, it feels like, on this Drakkar, especially after this early stage of the game. We had the core flip from YouAlreadyLose going out onto offense, able to get that goal themselves, and now everyone feeling confident from Trio Abusers, 2 sets away from claiming their 3rd title as the trio.
Yeah, and it is, like, I don't believe Lyarri is doing bad on the Drakkar, but when you're up against Vaughn...
There's the opening awakenings too.
Who is so strong on this character, kind of like pushing how this character is meant to be played. You end up seeing this midfield gap, in a sense, where the redirects and all the pressure is just like Vaughn's able to take control of the midfield. And if you have a strong midfield, eventually you will score, right? Like if the core never makes it over to your side and you can always keep it on the enemy side, it doesn't matter how good or not good your forward is, eventually something will go through if you have enough attacks. And that's what we're seeing so far already.
Ooh, nice initiative to get that goal barrier down, and even with the blink from YouAlreadyLose, they can't stop that one. And Leon looking for something, and oh, if the turret stayed a little bit longer, that would have been a goal in their favor. Leon would have just had to follow it all the way into the back of the net. Vaughn, good read, able to use the shotgun blast to get that one aside. Going into the gravity well just to see if they could KO Vaughn off of it as well from Leon, using their extra stagger to their ability. The Bells waiting patiently to see if they could go for a KO off the side. Leon is just wisely avoiding it, and a simple goal from Lyarri. Maybe a bit of a misplay from YouAlreadyLose, who used their strike shot, or the strike ability, a bit too early.
Yeah, trying to go in there with the cyber swipe to further clear from Lyarri, not giving her a chance to trade it back. But Lyarri, rather than walking down to strike, smartfully uses the shotgun early, which got the bounce there into the goal. And we're seeing an early kill once again for Trio Abusers. Lyarri is nowhere to be found right now. We have 1-in-1 barriers up, but any moment now, Bells is going to get that final one. There goes the last barrier. Gravity Well is up in the middle. Usually Vaughn opts to break that very quickly. Leon just kind of walked into that, sacrificing his health. I don't think that was the move there in that particular situation. But they are walking up a little bit. Let's see if Bells is able to score here. Just kind of throws it at Slop. Nothing to get out of there. And is low. They might be able to finish Bells off and turn this around. Let's see how they play this out.
Dueling turrets on either end. Not going to work out too well for Slop's Kittens, as again, they did get that opening goal, but will that be enough for them to carry forward into a set, into a victory in this game? And a good core flip from them, using that energy burst to its full capabilities as it goes the other direction. Solid placement, I guess you could say, for the turret, but also makes it difficult for them to set it up to go anywhere other than their own side. The gravity well also sets things up. Bells maybe playing with their food a little bit there. They could have scored it. They go for the KO. 3-on-1 situation. Slop somehow saves this aside, and being in overtime, 6 seconds, not going to be enough time for them to wait for that respawn, as it's tied up 1-1.
Tying up 1-1, getting the KOs on both the forwards, so ensuring that they come back with only 1/3 of their energy, and they have the advantage here towards their core flips. And again, there's just so much KOs. We're already seeing a level advantage, 1 level up, almost 2 levels up from Vaughn on Lyarri. Bells is level 5, when everyone else is either level 3 or 4. So, and the goalie difference right now is 2 levels as well. So this is playing into just to show you how much more control the Trio Abusers have. But Caleb, or YouAlreadyLose, using the core flip so far away from his own barriers there, ends up getting code. And now Trio Abusers having to play a little bit of defense while they have no goalie there. But look at the core flip pass to Bells, getting both barriers there, even while they were down a man.
And this is the Trio Abusers momentum that we are used to seeing. They are insane to play against, and you gotta just have the biggest brain in the world to know how to read their plays and what they are able to orchestrate at any given time. And we've seen it happen a couple times with Leon. They did get both goal barriers down. They need to capitalize on it quickly. The core flip is wasted to try and stay alive, and can't even do that long enough with Bells. Not even need to use theirs to eliminate them.
Yeah, and at least for this round, we have Slop's Kittens with both goal barriers up, even though they're a man down at the moment. They have Leon finally making it back up, so this is their chance to shine. Perfect. Almost really good combo there from Leon, understanding how far the death touch will bring Bells back, but Bells having the elusive or having to use the core flip, and having the both barriers taken out while they were kind of up in pressure there is really rough. And Bells, while staggered, KOing Lyarri, which is an absolutely big play. But Leon finding the angle, getting it into that bottom pocket between 2 players. Vaughn was just not fast enough with the shotgun there to bounce it off the bottom.
Leon's gotten so close to being like in the top for these Primetime Tuesdays so far. They've been denied every time with the team that they have. Now that they're here, they're like, I am going to win this, so help me, Odyssey. And unfortunately, Odyssey's no help to them, and especially when they get KO'd off the side, Bells knew to focus on them because he's the one that's doing a lot of work for them on the forward side for that momentum. But it goes with the core flip into the turret, and then it just redirected by Bells into the other goal barrier. Great turret placement for a moment, but that moment not going to be enough for now for them to get scored on, as 1 gold barrier remains. Can they get it for Slop's Kittens?
And Lyarri really needs to look for a kill here on Bells to catch up. She's 4 levels down from pretty much the average of of trio abusers here. And they have a little bit of pressure here. Bells is low, trying to find that kill. We don't see any cooldowns, but not being able to take advantage of Bells being that low. He's able to just walk up with the turret behind him, and with Vaughn, the turret, and Bells, we have a little bit of a triple team action there to get that final point of the round.
A timeless creator on YouAlreadyLose just helping their ability be that much more effective for their special and making it difficult for anyone to contest it afterwards. All we need to see is Bells going for the kick or the flying phoenix into that, and Stagger Swagger on Infinite with all the chaos that are happening. Makes sense that we're seeing it picked up a lot across the board.
And it looks like we're gonna have 5 Stagger Swaggers with the Deadeye Denial going in favor of Slop, at least, because that Deadeye 35% damage on 600 units or more is pretty much guaranteed on any ability of Aimee, especially with Strike Shot. So whether it's the primary, the Cyber Swipe, because it calculates it from the time of start of the move, so every single ability gets benefited there. But it might not matter if they consistently have a man down. Even with Stagger Swagger, they're just getting knocked all over the place and having to defend from this 2v3 position over and over again.
And Lyarri just trying to win this strike war, but it's not working out for them because it's a 2-on-1 situation. Leon doesn't want to get too involved in it either, trying to just yank them aside with a death touch, and did it for a moment. But even with these staggers and the knockbacks that we are witnessing, Vaughn just able to get that health back with the orb, and just with that Stagger Swagger as well that they picked up, that almost everyone did, except Slop, as you can see, kind of needs it, it feels like, but they didn't want to give any more pressure over to YouAlreadyLose with those glitch pops, as we see another of them go down. A death touch, not in this greatest spot to try and yank Vaughn aside to give Lyarri room to work with, and Lyarri not feeling as effective on this Drakkar Striker as we saw on the rune in the previous iteration of their draft.
Yeah, and you're just seeing kind of like the domination here of the midfield happen, where Lyarri is not getting any opportunities, either constantly dead or just losing in the midfield, whether it's to the positioning, just not in the right spot, losing the 50-50 strike wars to Vaughn. And it seems like almost all the pressure that's coming on from, oh my goodness, another point going over the trio abusers. But going back to that, it's like, anytime Slop's Kittens is able to perform, it's usually due to Leon in this specific game getting like a really good score, a really good KO, leading to something. And you can see that's why he's level 7 and at least almost caught up in levels to trio abusers.
Well, the level differential has just been monumental against the side of Slop's Kittens the entire time that we have played on Atlas Lab, even with the denial of the that they could play for Vaughn. He still feels confident on Drakkar, and usually if you ban Drakkar, he plays Luna. If you ban Luna, he plays Drakkar, and regardless of who he plays, he's feeling confident and on top of the world and on top of Primetime Tuesdays, and only 2 goals away from claiming their 3rd victory in a row for these weekly events that are every Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Start.gg/Vaughn, got to put that out there, but there goes the KO from Bells you could expect every single week.
And KO's going over to Bells, and Vaughn, even though he's staggered right now, has the Stagger Swagger, and this is also something that we see not necessarily too useful there, but oh my, another KO. But the dribble level that we see is so high from trio abusers. Not many high-ranked players even dribble consistently because it's you know, it's not as easy as they make it out to be. And then being able to just bait out cooldowns consistently and constantly getting KOs. That's his 13th KO of this match in specific. Has level 9 core flip ready to go.
Only 3 sets too with that many KOs.
Yeah, it's like anytime he has abilities up, someone is dead.
Well, this seems like an inevitable end potentially for Slop's Kittens. They gave it a good old college try. They had the second game go their way, but it was a hard-fought battle, the Awakening draft, but also the map did not go in their favor because Atlas Lab seems to be, well, YouAlreadyLose, Bells, and Vaughn's lab for the way that they've been performing and putting on a clinic against them. They faced off against them in the winners final on this map and couldn't get a single goal, so they've done a little bit better than that. And Leon trying to put some final pressure back, but getting knocked aside with the shotgun, knocked aside by Bells. Everybody targeting him, still trying to do anything they can to get that goal, to bring them back up by their bootstraps with the pendulum and yank them with the depth touch away from getting eliminated and coming with that second place finish. Lyarri can't get anything here. Back to Leon. They do have the man advantage, but it's not going to be enough just yet because the respawn, only a couple more seconds for YouAlreadyLose. Bell, Vaughn, doesn't matter who's there. They can still defend it to the best of their ability, and no goal's going to happen here, Mystic.
Yeah, really good defense from Trio Abusers. I always have to do a double take when the kills happen that fast.
Oh!
Who disappeared?
Xenocloak.
And it is Lyarri in the cloak coming out perfectly, getting that shot on the top corner. But I think either way, Leon was in position there to finish it up. Good potential motivation booster here. It's not over until it's over. We've seen this happen from Slop's Kitten multiple times today from this position. They might be able to come back. It only takes 1 point to get the steam rolling here.
That's true, and it only takes one goal barrier for them to have things going in their favor, but there goes, and actually, the core flip misses the goal barrier. It was wide open for the taking. Open season. Here it is for Leon, and it's not going to get denied by the glitch pop. 2-2, might have called it too soon as we go on to goal number 5. Will we get set number 3 in game number 3 here?
And finally, getting those KOs was so huge for Lyarri. Getting the 5-level deficit that was going on before is made up. Getting
huge.
Some pressure alleviated here. You can actually walk up without having to worry about losing your entire stagger bar because you at least have another 100, 200 more than you had before.
It's crazy. We had less best of 3s this time, but the event is still going the same amount of time because the way these players are getting that close to each other, that more competitive, but it might not be competitive enough for them to keep things going. Leon and Lyarri having to play goalie themselves. The slop barely respawning in time, going for the glitch pop to try and deny Bell's access to the core so that they can keep things going in their favor. But no, the turret is going to be powerful enough, and YouAlreadyLose is exactly what we are witnessing from Slop's Kittens as they go down this time around.
Put the core aboard the Polar Express and send it down. The train is gonna bring it in. It's my favorite thing to do. I'm just saying, if you need help winning, pick Amy, put it on the turret. No one knows how to fight the turret.
Yep. And look at that. 14 KOs from Bells. The red team, Slop's Kittens, couldn't stay alive long enough to do enough damage, do enough disruptive play. We saw a monumental comeback from them in that last set, but it was too little too late as you witness the expert class of goalkeeping from YouAlreadyLose, midfield play from Vaughn, and the bruiser style, brawler style from Bells, the 1-2 punch and the Phoenix kicks going back into the net with all the KOs necessary for them to get that victory. But what a finish that was, Mystic. I mean, 3 events back to back to back. We get to witness Trio Abusers. Can anyone contest them? We've gotten games. When will we get that second game? Do they have to win that first game for them to even do it?
It's tough. You know, with right now we have Vaughn and Bells together, who are currently the #1 NASL East team favorites alongside Ginger Pop. But at the moment, we have YouAlreadyLose being opted in for Trio Abusers, and these 3 have played in more tournaments prior to Primetime Tuesday. So this is like a set team that isn't going anywhere. And it's like, how do you compete against this?
Oh, man. It's crazy to think about. It's hard to compete against them, but a beautiful finish nonetheless from Trio Abusers to get that victory there. And wow, I mean, beautiful to witness here. We got 3 games in the lower final and 3 games in the winners final. Almost what the same amount of time as the last event, which was crazy to think about because we had like double the amount of best of 3s. But that just goes to show how great the competition was, but also how great the community has been. Thank you again to everyone who's been making these Primetime Tuesdays possible. It has not been possible just by myself. I mean, I run the thing, but shout out to Kyachi and 3Z Breezy for helping with the seating. Seating was immaculate this time and helped me a lot too after coming back from Battle for Texas. Thank you all our lovely casters who made my job easy because I only had to cast the last series, and that was a crazy series, let alone all the other series that we got to saw. So shout out to Dividing by Zero or Dividing, Max Formal. We saw Zojalix, we saw K-Bot or Kenneth, and Squid and Max Formal as well. I don't think I'm forgetting anyone there other than you, Mystic. You killed it as always. And also the lovely viewers that are out there too. Again, Primetime Tuesdays, they'll keep going for a little bit. We only have funding for a couple more, so we'll try and see if we can get renewed for more of that. But it's been a spectacular event. We'll be back next Tuesday with more Primetime Tuesdays. Again, number 4, but also, if you're in EU, number 1 for, I guess, what is it going to be? What is it that Dylan was saying that would be a good name for
Twin Drive
Thursdays, I guess we'll go with. So Primetime Tuesdays, Twin Drive Thursdays, click it and ship it, clip it and ship it. We'll go for that on the 15th at 6 p.m. CEST is what we're aiming for there. So I'll try and get things going for that at some point in time as well. Also, if you're into Rocket League this weekend, I'm going to be streaming 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, for the Draw, which is a bubble tournament that has professional invited teams. We are the alt stream for that. So if you don't know much about Rocket League, but you want to see some good gameplay, definitely recommend tuning into those community streams. It's going to be run by Solark, the production guy, back from Battle from Texas. Some great casters that'll be coming on from that. Some great Rocket League action, too, for that as well. I'll be hosting a bunch of stuff this weekend, too, for Collegiate Rocket League. So I'm going to be pretty busy, but it's been great to be here. Great to be a part of the Omega Strikers community. And hopefully I'll be able to run some more events. But Mystic, any final thoughts from you after I word vomited there for a second?
I'm just saying it's been a lot of fun watching these Primetime Tuesdays. I'm hoping, as much as I love to see trio abusers constantly in the finals,
True.
King of the rank leaderboards, king of the tournament scene at the moment. I'm excited to see new people come up and compete for these spots. And we always see a little bit of a mix-up every single Primetime Tuesday. Yeah. So I enjoy that everyone else is swapping teams around and trying their best to kind of make this combination of what can we try this week to take down trio
How do we
abusers?
beat them this time? They got so close. But Core Overflow also, I would say, got the closest. I think it went very far in that last event. I'll have to look back at the VODs. And if you are interested in the VODs, well, I think I have like a socials link you can go to. Let me check if this works. Exclamation point socials? No, it doesn't work. Okay, either way, Vodible on everything. I am posting all of the VODs, every single match that is played on Primetime Tuesdays on my YouTube. And the finals from the last event are posted tomorrow, I believe at 12 or 2 p.m. Eastern time. So definitely check that out. There's been some great feedback from those. And hopefully you like the graphics as you did. Hire Furphy because he did a great job for this. But that's all the time we have for this Primetime Tuesday. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We're now ending this stream. Gonna send on over a raid to somebody who's live with Omega Strikers. And after that, we'll see you on Saturday for the draw action for some great bubble Rocket League in just a bit. See you then.